All right, happening this weekend, Bakersfield Comic Con coming to the Kern County Fairgrounds. And of course, joining us in studio today, we have 17's own Rick Bentley, along with a very special guest.
John, joining me today is John Noble, and if you've ever seen a TV show or a movie over the last 20 years, you've probably seen this man. We could be talking for 3 days about his credits, but we're going to have to jump in real quick because you are the very, and I consider this very, very special guest for this weekend's Bakersfield Comic Con. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Yeah, well, I'm very flattered by that comment. Thank you.
Well, no, listen, you've earned it. I'm just curious, John, do you do a lot of these conventions, or are you pretty selective?
I did a lot early, really based a lot on Lord of the Rings, and then went off, got too busy, and I've just started to do a few lately again.
Right.
Only in the last 12 months, I'd say.
Did COVID interrupt that for a while?
Yes.
Okay.
COVID interrupted everything. What a misery that was.
Yeah.
I went mad. I'm not saying I'm not now, but I'm quite mad. Talk to myself all the time, you know, quite softly. So when I finally met my wife after 2 years, because she was in Australia, I was here, we couldn't meet. She said, "Why are you talking so softly?" Yes, you are. And I'm just used to talking to myself and answering myself. Bit strange.
Yeah. John, as I mentioned earlier, you have such a long list of credits, but I have to mention, you already mentioned Lord of the Rings. Yeah. If nothing else, that would have been a jewel in anybody's crown. Yeah. But certainly people got to remember you for Fringe. You're currently on Secession. I'm a big fan of your work on Elementary. Yeah. I mean, we could go on and on. But I'm just curious, when you do a project like Lord of the Rings that is so huge and so everlasting, as an actor, do you suddenly go, "Oh my gosh, what do I do next?"
Not really. No, but we became aware during the course of it how profoundly good it was. Really, just a once-off thing, and Peter Jackson was on fire, inspired. Not a man I particularly get on that well with, but by golly, he was on fire then. And he was working with a man called Ian Lesney, who's an Australian cinematographer, and they were joined at the hips. Unfortunately, he died about 3 years ago, prematurely. But I often wanted to have Peter went on without him.
Yeah. Now, I have to ask, when people come up to you, obviously they're going to talk about Lord of the Rings, but when they talk about Fringe, do they have a full grasp of that show? I loved it, but there was a moment at the end where I was getting a little confused about it. Do they have a lot of questions about it?
Yes. Yeah, they do. They're very interested in Walter, the character I played, and his oddness. And so there's a lot of questions usually come up about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just curious, you're also now working on Secession, and you're doing voice work now. You're doing a Star Trek project, right?
I am. I'm doing Star Trek Prodigy, the animated. It's really very good, by the way, if you haven't watched it. The animation is first rate. Two brothers, are really fine writers. And so we work together on every episode. We go in and, it's a quality show.
Well, but as an actor, when you go into a booth to record, you certainly are stripped away with what I like to watch your face when I see you work, but it's not there when you're doing the animated work. As an actor, is it harder or is it easier?
Do you know, I was told years ago, Rick, that there was when I was starting out, and I had this voice, and some producer came and said, "Oh, you got the voice, man. Come in, you can put that. You'll be good." I went and did a shocking test, and I thought I had to be a radio man, so I was doing all of this. And no, just talk. I went to a friend of mine, a woman, and she was a top-rate voice. I said, "What do you do?" She said, "I just act. Act. Arms everywhere, voice all over the place." The technician's can handle all that other stuff. And that was a real opener. So I do the same thing, getting into it, because it carries the emotion in voice.
Yeah. John, you've been working a long time. Are you still as excited to get up in the morning to do a role? Or is it to the point now where it's like, I've kind of done everything?
No, I don't think I've done everything by any means. I have had the opportunity later in my career to work with some astonishing actors. You know, I was relating earlier, I got to work with Pacino. He's my God, you know. There's some wonderful stuff too. He stabbed me in the hand and belted me up. But people like that, and Christopher Walken, and And even going back to Nimmo, I had good fortune to be the last actor to work with him as an actor.
Really?
Beautiful man, I tell you.
Yeah. It must be really wonderful to wake up, and it's been to get me the fans. Are they just? Is it just a wonderful experience to get to talk to the fans and meet with them?
It is for me, because as you know, when we're working in television particularly, we don't get to any feedback really. We shoot, move on, shoot, move on. Sometimes without direction necessarily, so there's no feedback loop. I go into a show, I get the feedback loop, which I truly, truly appreciate. But it informs me too about what works, what doesn't work, and the questions are informed as well. Very informed, actually. When we were doing Lord of the Rings, the crew, the people that were coming knew more about it than I did, a lot more.
Has there ever been a question that stumped you?
Yes, but I wouldn't let on. I just waffle my way through it. Good question. Yeah.
That's what an actor does.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, and again, we've got to wrap up here, but you're going to be in town for the weekend. Bakersfield Comic Con is this weekend at the Kern County Fairgrounds. You're going to be doing more than just sitting at a table, right? You've got a panel discussion?
I wonder who's going to adjudicate that.
Gee, I'm available if they need me.
Can we get this man, please? Yes. It will be you and I again. Tomorrow afternoon, I think.
I think it's a great team. So,
yeah, it's a good team.
Hey, listen, thank you for being here today.
All right. Such an honor. That was captivating. Thank you very much.
Oh,
and yes,
lovely.
Comic-Con beginning at 10 a.m. both days. It's just $10 to get in. It's good to have you guys here.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.